Hey, what's up, people? Welcome to another episode of Garage Media Junkies. Officially, I think that's the name for now. Welcome back. I want to give a shout outs to Nikola Predragovic, I think. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that right. And Elliot Drake. Thank you guys for checking out the video. It really means a lot. I know not nearly a big deal or anything like that, and I'm not trying to be that. I'm just trying to create somehow an audience for the work I do. That's it, really. Everything else is a plus, but friends, you have a space right here for content creation sponsors. No, no, seriously, thank you guys for watching that job. For the even leaving a comment is really appreciate. It's sort of like the way that they were a little bit specific on certain things that you guys like, so that's great. So, another video using this camera and using Ultrafine Extreme 400, which slowly I'm start liking the look and the character of this film. Um, I think I mentioned before that sometimes, depending on the weather and how bright it is, can kind of be a little bit flat. But once you start sort of going into more contrasty scenes, it kind of shines a little bit more. And I'm gonna, and in the next video, I'm gonna show another photos on more like later on the day, like more in the afternoon, kind of a little bit before, starting the day getting darker, and kind of have a different, more contrast, and works better, I guess that will be the word. But anyways, today I just want to talk about the topics. Obviously, some of the picture I took. I recently did a little trip to Vegas with my wife, just to get away from the day-to-day activities and have some fun. And obviously, I didn't miss the opportunity, obviously, to bring this camera there and to film and shoot some stuff around, because I knew it was my first time in Vegas, never been there. And I knew it will be like not chaotic, but a lot of movement, a lot of activity. And it will be a good test for this camera and for me using this camera to try to nail as much as possible focusing, and everything going around, how well move around. And then I'm gonna tell you a little bit of my almost I don't want to sounds like I'm trying to sell this brand that much, but it's a lot of myths. I have a lot of legends about great photographers using a particular model of this brand, and it was everything that I expect and a little bit more. So we will talk that at the end. So, anyways, let's enjoy a little bit of Vegas and what I saw. It was a short trip. It was like 2 days, so not much time, because also when I really fast going around the main topic. It will happen a lot on the channel, so try to be patient and get used to it. I guess. So I don't want to go with my wife, and this is supposed to be like a day plan for us and have fun, and then I just spend the whole time just taking pictures everywhere and not having proper couple time, which is important, people. It's important to have time for you and your loved one. Anyways, let's jump into this first one. And I like this samurai in Vegas. It was, I think, if I'm not wrong, it was in the Villaggio at some point somewhere. So it was pretty cool. It was just in the middle of this place, and it was big windows, bringing light. So it was a good opportunity to test a little bit more of how much contrast and detail can hold. A little bit of light leak right there, which tend to happen to this lens. So it is what it is. This next one, we arrived to the hotel. It was a lot of traffic. Um, it was a little confusing to get to the lobby, and the parking lot was like super far away. So this one I tried to sort of break down the frame in three little frames using the light post You know, you see the top part, bottom part, and then the left part. Try just to do something interesting. And also, like Vegas at night, I think it's way better to take pictures at night than the day, but that's my preference. But too much lighting and neon and stuff. Same thing, another one. I think, yeah, I just try to sort of have a better, you know, percentage on the frames and just move it slightly to the left. Uh, Old man taking photo with phones, which is obviously like what happened now. Um, you try not to. I try not to do that, but again, I'm not bashing cell phone pictures. I think it's after a long time, cell phone photography sort of, you know, it's like with everything with 35 millimeters, sort of give them, you know, access to people to take pictures, even though phones are way more expensive. 35 film, but 35 film doesn't do what. So it's always a trade. Don't hate. Again, it's not the gear. I mean, to a certain degree, it's not the gear. It's what you do and your vision and all that stuff. So it's always a balance. Don't hit people with phones, but it is annoying. Not as bad as people taking pictures with iPads. That's, yeah, don't do that. Next one, I love the bulbs on top. This was sort of an old school kind of style hotel, so that was great. It's, you know, now everything is going to LED and stuff, so incandescent bulbs are not as usual. Sadly enough, this guy was smoking, taking a break, and you see the guy in black, you know, right there. I couldn't capture it. It was the perfect moment, and I realized I think that's the problem. That the lens on this camera is a little bit stiff. So when you need to do a big trouble on the focus ring, it took me like way longer, and it was dark. It was almost night, so definitely was a challenging situation for me. It's like, again, that's the reason I want to try this camera and check her out. I took quite a few self-portraits. This is a little bit out of focus. Same thing. I thought it was locked. Great, you know, focus, and then you can tell it's out of focus. But also it's harder, you know, with selfie, like the phones, and now with cameras, to have awesome autofocus. It's so easy to take these sort of self-portraits. But here I need to focus first on the mirror, put it there, and then move it to the position I want. Still like it. I like the. I think for the most part, hotel rooms has kind of cool lights. What I did here, though, as a side note, I just left the lamps and just turned off the big lights. That sort of gave a better mood for me, at least, and it works. Another one. This is definitely better, you know, in focus. Same thing, just a couple lamp lights. And, you know, being egocentric and, you know, take picture of my awesomeness somehow. Yeah, right now. A little picture of my wife who was reading. Again, that lamp give enough lighting to push, you know, all the settings to the maximum. Like I was at 60 of a second and all the way open, but it was cool. I tried to make a frame between the bag and my arm right there, so, you know, just focus in there. Another one, closer, same thing. I love lamp lights. They work really well. They set the moods, and you can play around with them. If you feel like the need of, like, I need super big lights, just go for some cheap lamp lights and play with them. Seriously, just play with them, and at some point, you're gonna start a better understanding of light and how you can, you know, cross and match some of that. I guess somebody's gonna is gonna be doing some yard work today. Let me come back. I'm gonna, you know, close the door and we don't have as much noise. So sorry guys. I tried to close as many doors in this room, and I mean, you're gonna hear it. It's extremely loud. You know, I'm lucky. exactly where I'm recording this happened. But anyways, let's keep moving. Then let's not lose the focus on all this. Another picture taken on the monorail. I tried to sort of do zone focusing a little bit, which is something that I'm trying to sort of learn and get slightly better at it, especially for these situations where you don't want to be super like in the face of the person. And again, like he was sitting on the window, and I try to sort of put the post in the middle, like the metal post or the handlers or whatever you want to call it. And I think it works. It gives a really cool mood, sort of like a noir um, investigator kind of movie kind of thing. I like it. Like it a lot. I know it's a full sort of portrait now, and obviously on vertical mode, or like what used to be called portrait mode. I leave a lot of headroom, but it's hard to. It's really hard to compose and all this stuff without like with my Fuji XC2, I can just watch the screen and I can compose more easily. Still like it again, like in that a specific hotel room and lighting lamps works really well. Also, I decided to leave the scratch on the film, which I could have probably you know brush healing and Lightroom a little bit, but I decided to leave them there just because there are certain photos and looks that works really well. So why not? More self-portraits, a little bit out of focus too, as you can tell, a lot of scratching. But I like them. I try to play a little bit with silhouettes. They weren't my favorite. This I tried, with the guy using the phone and stuff. I tried to sort of make the silhouettes more harsh looking, but you can see on the right a little bit. You can still notice the people, but again, it's a tough, photo situation. I think in general, where you have dark and super bright scene, but still, I mean, not my favorites, but I kind of like them. The duck, because why not? It was there. This one, I tried to take a photo of the alley. I think I thought it was a little bit lower, so I want to capture more of that alley, but it was the same thing. The monorail just passing by. That was the other part. You're moving. It's not like, oh, I can wait and take a picture. It was more in the moment. I wish that palm tree wasn't there, but you never, this is a weird occasion when you get what you want, especially in photography, but you work and try to make it happen. Another, like, talking about the country street, this one I kind of like it a tiny bit more, but still, like, for me, it's particular, feel like I wish the people in the background were more dark, like more like silhouettes, but again, go out and keep shooting and practice until you make it happen. This was like the big, I forget what it's called, this thing in Vegas. It's just basically a big, like, roller coaster kind of thing, but it goes slow, so you can see the whole city. Mr. the King, Elvis. Seems like he didn't want me to take a picture. Obviously, probably he performs and charge for photos and all that stuff. I think my wife thought that he was like, cheering, like when you cheers and put your drink up, but nah. He definitely wasn't trying to not allow me to take his picture, and he was mad. He yelled at me like, "Move the fuck off!" I'm like, huh? Little sculptures. This was a Caesar Palace shopping mall, which is ridiculous. That hotel is insanely big, and then they have their own shopping mall. I mean, Vegas, capitalism. So this was in an interesting restaurant, a German restaurant. I forget the name, but I think it's somehow popular. But it was so much going on in there. This was definitely almost at night, so you can tell. Like, I mean, you have some detail of these women dancing. I wish was a tiny bit more brighter because it was fun. She was having like the blast, but this is what it is. Still, I think it's great for it's, you know, you can sort of notice the woman dancing there. More of that sculpture. Another one of that, a samurai, you know, a more wider one. I want to capture the whole thing. I was waiting. I think I wait for like 15 minutes to like hope that nobody comes. So, you know, it's nobody everywhere or around. But, you know, again, if I was by myself, probably would wait. But, you know, I didn't want to make my wife wait just to take a picture of this thing. Still, I like it. And this guy was hilarious. So these guys in the German restaurant go around, they sing and do all these like cool stuff, and this guy has a big like almost like a trombone. I don't know what's the real name. It's so long that he just go and put it right on the table and start like, you know, blowing and everything, and you put some money if you want and the tip. But it's great. You're gonna see, I think, more on the other picture in front. I just thought the lighting was great. I tried to compose a little bit, make it not as super straight, but basically I like the lighting candle. You know, again, we come back to the beginning, what I was saying, that everything is going to LED and stuff, so it's great that some places still have this particular lighting. I wish I had a better or more time to take this picture because it was hilarious. This girl goes around with like this sort of a mace thing, or like a, yeah, it's a piece of wood, and just go around, and if some guy wants to be smacking their butts. This next one is the guy that was telling you, putting this trombone thing and blowing the horn or whatever. It was really fun, and it was awesome to see it. This guy, obviously, you can tell, he saw me taking his picture. As soon as I put the camera down, I know like this guy don't want his picture being taken anymore. So this I took a few of sort of these sort of landscapes, but didn't came out that great. I just have like 2 or 3. They're okay. The interesting part of this is I recently bought Ansel Adams 400 Photographs book, which I like it. I read it. Like maybe I can talk about that in another video really fast. So I'm not saying I recreate Ansel Adams photographs at all. That will be a bold statement, but also a fool statement, you know. But yeah, definitely inspired me. Inspired me watching all these photos, the contrast in his photos, and his sort of ideas of why he did certain things the way he wanted to do it. Definitely, I didn't stop or carry like a super heavy camera at all. But these ones I like them. See these two? They look great, at least for me. I have more that I shot with the Fuji X-T2. So if you want to see those, let me know in the comments, and maybe I can do another video. I feel they're slightly better than with this camera. It's just a harder, you know, camera to deal with this kind of photography, especially if I was in the car and my wife was driving, so I was moving a lot. And at the end, here's my lovely wife. A little bit out of focus, crop her head. Still, I kind of like it. She was smiling, just having a blast. So that's it for these photos. I hope you enjoyed the same way I enjoyed them. And now I just want to talk about one last thing. So that last thing, like I said, was mentioned in a brand specific, and that brand is Leica. So going to the strip, I was researching, tried to research if I go somewhere, like if there's a camera shop. So I find out they have a Leica camera in Vegas, which was interesting. I never hold or have or own a Leica by any means, so I thought it was interesting. They seem kind of cool, but also I feel like half it's bullshit and half the other half is just, you know, maybe true. So I went there with no any reference or how it feels, what it is to own a Leica and all that stuff. I just know they're expensive. They're kind of like the Apple things from cameras. I don't know if that's an accurate, you know, comparison, but whatever. You know what I mean. It's one of those elitist devices desired for a lot of people. So I went there. Obviously, I hear all the stories, the legends, the photographers that have been taking photos with this camera. So it's a lot of appealing to own one or sort of desire one. But then all that goes off when you hear the prices and all this crazy stuff, especially buying a brand new one. So I went there. First of all, I want to say that the guys there were awesome. I forget their names, which sucks. I wish I can give them shout outs because they treat me real well. You can easily sometimes see products like this, not just in camera world, but anywhere, and other departments or products where they're like, no, they don't, they're really high in their own shit, and they don't put you attention, or they think that they're making you a favor when you buy their products. But they were nice. I checked all the equipment there. Even they allowed me to hold it and like touch and have all these tactile experience with the camera, which it was insanely everything I expected and a little bit more. The holding it, the weight, that viewfinder, like everything that I thought, and all my sort of reserves about this camera went away. And the only problem is as soon as I asked the price, like, okay, here's your thing. I don't want to break it. So it's almost like $7,000 for have the Leica MP, I think, and the lens. So it's better if you go, secondhand or eBay or something like that. Their models, they're $1,000 or something. I say if you have the money, well, yeah. Like if I have the money, and by that means like I didn't have any debt and have amazing payments all the time, and everything in my life were covered. Like I just have like not even savings. Like it will need to be like savings and then extra. Yeah, sure. I just shut up and take all my money, no problem. But I'm not at that point, so. Do I wish to like save and buy that brand new Leica? I don't know, because there are models that people speak highly about them that you can get on eBay way cheaper. So it's really up to you. Now I get another camera though, which I will talk about that later on another video, which almost give me that and more than a Leica. It's way cheaper, and I'm been enjoying it a lot. But I'm not ready to sort of. Well, I will be ready soon to show some of the pictures I took. Not ready about the camera, but it's just fine. If I'm not at this point, I'm not, let's say, a fanboy or like a diehard fan from hell. Leica it is a really nice camera, no doubt about it. You're not just buying the camera; you're buying the history of the company and also like the craftsmanships, like which there are a few companies out there that care about that side, and sort of I care a little bit like the aesthetic of what I own. I care about it. Other people's don't, and they don't care, and it's fine. Everybody has their own tastes and like what they like and what not. But again, like let me know in the comments if for you the Leica craziness is worth it. It's expensive. It's worth all the hype, I guess, and just your opinion so we can share and we can know. So again, like brand new, if I would buy a brand new Leica, not soon at all. I will maybe decide to go for a second hand, probably if I find a good price. But yeah, that's it. That was my little thing going to Vegas. Hopefully you guys like it. Let me know what you think about these videos, what you want to watch. I can talk about some photography books I have, some sort of comics that inspire my photography a little bit. There are some comics that get inspired visually. You can tell I sometimes talk to movies and other stuff, and I do some short films and stuff. So it wouldn't be weird I upload other random stuff. So far right now, well, photography is the one that's taken most of my time personally and also my career. So that's the type of videos you're going to see more. I think I'm gonna try to at least every month buy different type of films. I have a big list of film that I want to buy and try. So let me know if you're also interested in that. I can go and I recently get a gift of a GoPro, so maybe I can do one of those videos that slap the GoPro on top. You can see sort of like my sort of photography process on the streets when I take my photos. So let me know if any of these feels interesting to you. I know that I'm not again. I don't have millions of subscribers or whatever, but everything I do, if you feel interested, believe me, I'm gonna do with all the best intentions to show you my story as a photographer and creator, and hopefully you can inspire to do something, because at the end of the day, that's all what we want, right? A little bit of inspiration here and there to spice up our day-to-day work or creative process. So that's it for today. Have a great day. you know Go and subscribe so you don't miss my videos. Share if you want. I also would like to receive suggestions of what kind of films, or if you find something interesting out there that I may feel interested. So anyways, have a great day. Enjoy. See ya to the next one. Adios, people.